From up high, this looks like a very crowded airport, but it's actually a century of aviation history frozen in time. This is the Pima Air Space Museum. Located in the Tucson, Arizona desert, it's home to some of the most important and unusual machines to ever fly in the sky.
This is quite an impressive display.
One of the most popular exhibits is the Blackbird. It's the world's fastest jet. The Blackbird was designed to outrun missiles trying to shoot it down. That's because the US used Blackbirds to spy on other countries.
It was a secret program, so they were flying high and fast long before anyone acknowledged that the program existed. But in the late 70s, I believe 1978, one of the Blackbirds flew from Los Angeles to New York City in 1 hour, 4 minutes and 6 seconds.
Wow, I wish all flights to New York to Los Angeles were that fast.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, but the in-flight services aren't that great.
So what was its top speed?
Generally, it was a little bit over Mach 3.
Mach 1 is the speed of sound, so Mach 3 means flying at 3 times the speed of sound.
So we're getting into 2100, 2200 miles per hour.
Wow.
Next on the list was one of the world's smallest planes, the Bumblebee. With so many aircraft in the hangar, I was afraid I would miss finding it, but I needn't have worried.
So I'm guessing this is the Bumblebee.
What tipped you off?
I don't know.
Its official name is the Star Bumblebee. That's because it was built by a pilot named Bob Starr.
I would have trouble fitting in there. How did he fit in there?
Bob was a really sort of slightly built guy, right? So he sort of squirmed himself in.
The little plane only carried 2.5 gallons of gas, so the flight of the Bumblebee was very, very short.
I'm just surprised it made it off the ground.
Yeah, well, one of the reasons he kind of in with Bumblebee is, there's the old myth that, if bumblebees knew anything about physics, they wouldn't be able to fly, right? So that's kind of where he took the theme from.
Up there is a concept that really needed to be aware of the physics of flying.
That looks like a one-man flying machine.
It is. It's a one-man hoppycopter. It's meant to drop soldiers into battle with their own personal helicopter. Interesting idea, but terrible application. All it did was break legs, and it was abandoned really quickly.
Oh no, so it didn't work?
Didn't work.
If the hangar seemed crammed with craft, outside looked like a ginormous airplane parking lot.
So we're here in front of one of my personal favorites in the collection, and probably, in my opinion, one of the most genuinely historic aircraft we have here. It's a Boeing NB-52A. This is the first series of the Stratofortress strategic nuclear bomber.
This plane was built in 1954. At that time, America was on constant alert in case of nuclear attack by the Soviet Union. If that had happened, the B-52 would have been sent to bomb the Soviets. Fortunately, there was never a World War III. So instead, the Stratofortress played an important role in the early days of America's space program. It would carry a rocket plane up to the edge of Earth's atmosphere and then release it. This was one of the ways pilots practiced to become astronauts.
Neil Armstrong, the first man to walk on the moon, did mission drops off of this airplane. So it's a really
specific airplane.
This specific airplane. It's a really, really fantastic piece of history right here.
For Teen Kids News, I'm Nicole.